So, when we last left off, you all were making your way across the general waste, following this pathway underground. These tracks dug and reinforced with steel beams and metal tracks for some sort of cart, leaning off into the distance somewhere. Where it leads, you do not know. How long you must follow it, you do not know, and yet you simply choose to pursue it. Along the way, you have come across various creatures and individuals along your travel, one of which being Beck, a Aarakocra farmer just trying to make a living, and you helped rid her basement of some rats, as well as destroy her entire house and livelihood and farmhood, and then possess her body with a demon, and then seal her away inside before burying her alive in the ground. But then you continue on and keep traveling, following the horizon to destinations unknown.
I wonder what happened there.
I would like everyone to make a grit check.
Uh, 6.
Okay. What'd you get, Marcus?
8.
Okay. Freddie?
Hold on, give me a second. 6.
Brilliant. Okay, never mind. Uh, you'll all continue traveling along this venture. Actually, Tala, you would have no idea of the proceedings that happened topside. There was the brief moment where you all stopped along the road as you gathered food resources and whatnot, but unbeknownst to you, the people topside were attacked by a dust devil. So it's not until you all decide to come to a rest at nightfall and break this connection between the path down below and the surface above, and take a night to rest, that you communicate this situation together. Marcus, you were taking a nap in your cart during the ride, and you said, "Just wake me if anything happens." And Emery and Freddie were unable to reach you with the suddenness of this event. So I would like Freddie to explain and recount the day's events to these two people that are just now hearing about it, as you share a meal over a fire under the dark sparse sky.
Oh, goddamn. Alright. Where to begin?
This is what happens when you leave Freddy alone. He summons demons.
What I get for what happens when I left unsupervised? All right, so while traveling,
So anyways, I started blasting.
it started blast. Wind came out of nowhere, and then out of nowhere, a gust formed into a demon. Next thing you know, my woman, Boilla, got blown off my dragon. She was critically injured. But she's being healed at the moment. Okay, so we may or may not have encountered yet another demon, which I didn't summon this time.
Really?
Absolutely. But it seemed to know the other demon.
Mm.
So me and Emery tried fighting this thing. Was not the best idea. So we had to take drastic measures. Emery makes an ice cream for the demon, who physically couldn't eat it at the moment. So then we sacrificed the farmer girl.
We let it possess the person whose lives we ruined. I mean, they were gonna die anyways.
So we encased her in multiple layers of ice and buried her into the ground.
Any
Starting to feel like
questions?
Starting to feel like the more you try to help people, the more you harm them.
I imagine like this scene, Dada start like listening to the wind, and she starts listening to the whisper. Like, why did I decide to try that ice cream? The voices of the demon being carried by the wind.
Yeah, Emery passes out ice cream to everybody around the campfire. It's a good treat to finish off a hot day of traveling.
So I can believe that you feel this innocent woman and act like it's not that big of a deal.
Hmm. Hmm. I physically did not know how to respond.
Why there's suddenly multiple demons all of a sudden?
That's a very good question. You're asking the wrong guy.
I mean, demons are in the world, and you can stumble upon them.
Yeah, but
This isn't
me more
uncommon
of
to
the
just
odds
run
of
into a
running
bunch.
into two so quickly.
Yeah, maybe making impact with one make them more approachable to you. Right, Ray?
Are you like a demon magnet now, Freddy?
Who knows? Maybe.
That kinda sounds like a yes. Well, I have to admit that Freddy now holds the record for the most demons bamboozled on a time span of 2 days.
He's 2 for 2, baby.
Right. We shall see what happens next.
Emery just goes over to like the menu that he has on his cart and has to write out, "It has been 0 days since Freddy has summoned a demon."
0 days without demonic accident.
But as you all are having this this general get together, you notice that around you the wind is very gentle in the nighttime, and the sparks of the fire are gently drifting away and sort of disappearing off into the night. But the moon above is not casting a whole lot of light. There is this large cloud cover that is blocking the beautiful night sky. And in fact, you do see that there are other sources of light and movement to the west as you are growing nearer to this sort of almost forest-like escapades with rising and falling hills. You're still mostly in flatland, but these sparse trees are starting to become more prominent. You can see that there's a grove off to the west, a bit of a ways, but you can see that there is glowing and dancing lights gathering around. Not but about, I'll say 3 miles from you.
Is this like some natural phenomena, or it's something like man-made, like people?
It does not look like a spell. It looks random and it looks natural. I'll give you that.
Okay.
If you'd like to try and determine what sort of what thing it is, you can make some sort of intelligence or brains check.
Let me see.
Or if you have an ability that you would prefer to use.
No, I don't. Let me see. And I gotta choose.
You would have advantage.
Then a crit.
Oh, for a total of
6.
okay. You can tell that these are and I've forgotten the word completely. You would recognize that this is something less of like a like firefly. Very much that's sort of what it looks like. But you can tell that this is actually a naturally occurring mote of light that can sometimes be found in areas such as goodness gracious, I'm just tripping over everything right now. There are these tiny entities that generate light that sometimes spawn from dying plant life and whatnot, or sometimes in areas such as animal graveyards. You can see these sort of wispy figures floating about. Just tiny little like foxfire, like little motes of light.
So I'm assuming that whatever is that means a lot of death.
Not
lot of things are dying.
necessarily, but sort of, yeah. It's more of like an area of land that's been touched by the natural energies of living creatures. So this would be almost less about actual animals and more of like terrain and plant life.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the proper terminology would be, but I was saying that it's like what would be an animal graveyard, but for plants. Okay. Yeah. I guess the best terminology I could probably equate it to would be a hollowed grove, where dryads would go to be safe or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not saying that there's anything of interest there or that there is an actual event going on. You just notice that is a location over there.
Yeah, since it's more like a somewhat natural phenomena,
It's like off-gassing of natural energies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like these are tiny little souls or anything. This is just natural magic evaporating from the ground that is enriched potently into this area. Man, I'm using a lot of words and saying a lot of nothing. I would say, Marcus, you would know, you would have a little bit of history knowing that these are some of the safe places to bury a body out in the wild, because it means that they won't be desecrated. It is literally hallowed ground.
Did you bring any of the bodies here?
Hmm?
Did you bring any of the bodies?
Oh, any of the bodies?
did.
That's up for Marcus to decide. Did you bring any dead bodies with you? Did you already have some dead bodies with you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, Freddy, what's your stay? How did you get here?
I beg your pardon?
What's your story?
What's my story?
Yeah, what brings you here?
The adventure, I guess. I mean, that's all that's really is there to do is go see what's in the far beyond.
Do you only speak in anime quotes?
Yeah.
The adventures of far beyond and the power of friendship.
Absolutely.
This is a Sharingan, and this is a Hollow Mask, and this is Super Saiyan 2, and this is to go even further beyond, plus Ultra. Just like my grandpa always said.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Naruto said
I am
that.
the Dragon Slayer.
I'm here to slay goblins.
People die when they are killed.
No, like,
Okay. Is there anything else you wanna do?
no.
Okay. Again, I will never have like specifically planned events like this is what you're doing today. I will only describe what things are happening around you, and you can choose to interact with them however you want. It's going to be literally like Fallout or Skyrim. Like you can walk
Yeah.
through and choose to interact with things or not.
Yeah, but I think we agree our next objective is following the tunnel, right?
Hmm. And you do know that in a few more days' travel, you'll make it towards this location where, at least underground, you saw that it was a multitude of connections of tunnels. And it's got one of those like spinning tracks in the center. Okay. Yeah. If we want to keep going on, we can move on. The next day, you continue traveling and make your way across. You're starting to get, as you're following this pathway, it's actually starting to curve westwards a little bit, and you're getting out of the open wastes and more into the tree line. Within a few more days' travel, you'll probably start to be getting into hill country, and then maybe a week's more time into the valleys, and I can't remember what that word is. It's like the flat top at a thing because it's not a mountain.
Plateau?
Plateau, yeah. The valleys and plateaus. But yes, as you start to make your way into this not really fully wooded area, but if you think of like what Red Dead 2 is like when you sort of make your way into the more populated areas, there's definitely grass covering the ground now. The ground is softer. There's less wind. There's a slight variety of trees now. It's not just these sturdy scrub trees that can only survive in the waste. But yeah. Eventually, you do, as you're following this underground hallway, you do see that there are signs of worn pathways, signs of roads that other people travel, and none of them seem to follow along. They intersect and you pass over them and continue on, but you can tell that this area does have some reasonable sense of population. We're not just in the middle of nowhere now.
So more people go through here.
At about a few hours before midday, you can see that there is a cart parked along one of these pathways that, again, not really on your pathway, your direct course that you're taking, but off in the distance you can see a ways away, is what appears to be a single person cart. It's not even like a full covered wagon. It's just like a smallish cart with a big old tarp over the back. You can see that there's a variety of different things poking up in the back that you can't really discern its contents. And there only seems to be a single figure, an elderly man that's just by himself with a single a burly beast of burden. And choose to interact with him.
Yes.
Okay. How would you choose to approach?
Slowly and calmly.
All right.
Maybe with a friendly smile.
Yeah, as you get close, you can see that he is an autumn eladrin, this sort of not fully fey entity, like not a dryad in a sense, but you can see that his skin is dark brown and sort of gnarled, as it almost appears wood-like, and his beard is quite bunched up and mossy looking, basically, and he's got these soft amber eyes. And as you approach, he looks a little concerned by the size of your party. He's like, "Oh, could I help you? I'm just making my way along. Not looking for any trouble."
No worries, sir. We're not here to cause any trouble. As far as I know.
Make a deception check. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just wondering if you were okay, if you needed any help or anything.
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm just come out here to harvest a few things before making my way back to town.
I see.
I live a simple life and live off the land, and I create a few things if you're interested.
Sure.
He sets down the reins very slowly and starts to slowly stand up. It like takes him 5 minutes to get off the cart, and then he looks up at you and is like, and then turns away and slowly starts making his way to the back of his cart. And he undoes a few buttons and kind of rummages around underneath of it. Well, I did just gather some of the natural essence of the wood, and I made these. And he holds up a very simple yet, oddly enough, elegant lantern. It seems to be carved of wood with this sort of magical pane containing the light inside, and you can see some of this fairy fire is sort of just wisping around inside of this container.
Oh, this is a very fancy looking lamp.
I do pride myself in my work. Not only does this light brighten up dark areas, but you can also see the spirits of those that have passed. If they are willing, you might even be able to hear them.
My eyes just like slightly white.
And I would even say that, Marcus, you've probably heard of these before, but you haven't gotten one. You don't have one of these.
Need one.
You probably heard like stories of like some strange magics in the woods that allow people to commune with those that have passed, and this seems to be one of those items that can be used to do so.
Mm.
That one, Freddy.
Yeah,
Sorry?
that's really cool, but I'm broke.
It's just one favor.
Yeah, I have 0 because I bought the X.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could offer to
Yeah,
do something for him.
Yeah, I got plenty of favors.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I have 8 of them.
I mean, you all should have gotten some favor for. Oh wait, but then you bought stuff. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we received the CD, I bought the X. With now that I think about it, if this thing's made of wood, I could help him to get more wood to make another one.
Yeah.
can
If you want to
chop the
offer
entire tree
to
to that.
chop down a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just buy
So-
it if y'all want it.
There are
Oh,
plenty of opportunities to earn favor by interacting with
Yeah.
people. You don't always have to spend it. You can just choose to do some sort of like side mission
Favors?
or an actual favor. Yes, literally. That's the entire point behind this. And yeah, just one of
So-
these lanterns is one favor.
what if I offer you to get more wood like that in exchange for that?
Oh, and what kind of wood are you offering?
So we saw that the Hollow Grove, right? I'm pretty sure we would have some highly magical vital energy. I don't know what would be the right term for that.
He actually denotes that that's where he just came from, because he was filling up the lanterns over there.
So we can get more wood for you. And I'm pretty sure that thing I put to Freddy's Dragon can carry a lot of wood.
Okay. Certainly, if you're interested in harvesting and hauling some wood to my shack nearby, I would not be opposed. I'd be more than willing to trade it for one of my lanterns. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And you guys just want to do that?
Yes.
He has like a shack nearby, right? Is that?
Well, are you going to chop down a tree?
Yeah, the idea was chopping down a tree from the hollow woods, and the only question is where we're going to deliver it. It has a shack or something.
Yeah. If you follow him, he could lead you over to where his shack is.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you guys want to like backtrack over towards the grove to chop down a tree is what you want to do?
That's what I'm suggesting. What do you guys feel?
Yeah.
Ready?
What's up?
Oh, you disagreed. I thought was Marcus.
No? Oh, I said yeah. We could do that.
Okay. That's easy enough to do. It's just a matter of what specifically you want to do. He explains that he usually carves wood from fallen trees because he is unable to physically manhandle an actual tree himself. But yeah, using your magic axe, you can deftly fell a tree, and then using your various mounts can move the lumber over towards his shack. I think by this time, night is beginning to fall. It's like starting to get dark, especially with the canopy above. And he says,
Well, I do appreciate your efforts. You're all very welcome to stay here for the evening. Unfortunately, I don't have enough room inside for more than myself, but you may all stay around here in this area. It's very low traffic and unpopulated, so should be fine to spend the night.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
And go ahead and whoever is going to take it, go ahead and add Ghost Lantern to your inventory.
Marcus, since you are the exorcist, do you wanna have the lantern?
Well,
Well, he's not an
Here's the thing.
exorcist. He's just a dead person expert.
I'm an undertaker,
I-
not an exorcist, but I can also always see ghosts.
That's a good point. I just said the exorcist because he managed to exorcise that demon on his first try, so I assume he has some expertise on the area.
He's a grave tender.
So since the lantern is not that useful for you, I'll get it, miss. It's ye-
Okay. Oh dear.
Oh no.
another demon.
No. As night begins to fall and you all gather up your carts and make another pleasant fire, Freddy,
Yes.
what's the name of your dragon again? I can never remember. Hilarious or something weird?
Elatrian.
Elatrain. Elatrain is sort of curled up for the evening and is not really falling asleep, but really starting to just sort of relax and getting to a restful position when all of a sudden they start to get jittery and antsy. You can see that their scales kind of start shifting a little bit. And just very tense and on edge, and starts looking around nervously.
You okay there, buddy?
I'm very concerned about the situation because I have a natural sense about things. All of creatures do. It's just some of us choose to understand it and pay attention to it while others forget it. But there's something in this forest. And it's easy for all of you to get an almost instant sense of dread as
there are not many things that could make a dragon afraid. Because dragons are pretty far up there in the food chain. And this has Elytrean quite perturbed and upset. You can actually see that he like gets up and like plants his feet and is like readying to fly away at an instant.
Easy there, buddy. Easy.
I'm not sure it's safe to stay here.
I'm gonna have to notify the others see if we could leave early. Because if this puts you on edge, then. Yes, I'm gonna go notify both Marcus and
Me.
Uh,
Okay.
Hala.
So there is something scaring your dragon.
Well, yes,
That
but
that sounds bad.
Also, I
Indeed it
forgot
does.
to give the name for the Eladrin. His name is Barble.
it takes a lot to scare my dragon. So something's within that forest that's really putting Eltrain on the edge. So I suggest we pack up everything and leave as soon as possible.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of stuff to pack up, mostly because I don't have a lot of stuff. So I'm going to
Thank you.
Bourbon's door to warn him about, something that might be around.
Okay. You go up and knock on the door, and there's no response.
Bourbon.
But there also doesn't
Bourbon.
appear to be a lock on the door. It's like a very small hutch. You can't imagine that it's got much for like interior walls. It's like a 10 by 15 building. It's like probably just one large room inside. Have you ever seen like the house that Courage the Cowardly Dog lives in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a very simple bare bones. But it doesn't have a second story. It's like that kind
So
of house.
I'm going to open the door slowly.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm just trying to decide if you can see inside. I think you would be able to. You maybe like activate the eyes of a cat or something with night vision. You take a look inside. The interior of this building is very simple, bare bones. You can see that there's wood chips all across the floor. You can see that there's a simple like table for crafting. And then there is like this small tarp, a blanket that's like sort of separating off a section, like a corner of the room that you might assume would be like a bed area.
I'm going to walk in, trying to not disturb anything.
How about you make a flight check?
Light. 18.
Okay. You, with the grace of a creature far smaller than you definitely make your way across the room quickly and quietly without disturbing anything, which is an incredible feat, as there is just a whole slew of random objects and riffraff tossed about the space. Not that there is a smell or any sort of like destruction that's happened here, or signs of struggle. I'm not saying that. This is just sort of a very lax, maybe even cramped, sort of cluttered area. But you make your way over to the corner, and you can see placed upon the bed is not the body of Barble, but in fact a statue of a woman, and she is tucked into the bed, and Barble is nowhere to be seen.
The statue is like human size?
Yes,
Oh,
in stone, not wood carved.
okay. That's weird. What, this guy was like married with Medusa or something? But since he's not like home, I think he's not in danger currently, so
I mean,
I'll
you
leave.
saw him go into the house, and he hasn't left.
yes. Hmm. There's something underneath the bed?
I mean, there's general. You take a look under the bed, and you can see that there's just a bunch of stuff. Do you actually want to take the time to search it?
No, I just wanted to see if he had like a hole or something. I don't know.
No. There's not like a trap door
somewhere
pathway anyway.
Yeah, I just was looking for somewhere he could go.
Yeah, if you want to take the time to look around the building for a trapdoor, you can. Let's cut back out to Freddy and Marcus, though. What are you guys doing as Tala has rushed off to warn Barbell about the situation and the present danger?
I'll say I tried to like at least try to calm down Illustrian.
Okay. Make a charm roll with advantage. Since it's your mount.
Nine.
Okay. You know how to talk to your mount, and you know the words to say and how to get their attention, but Illutrain is absolutely hearing what you're saying, but is far too upset to really pay attention to any sort of instruction you're trying to give him.
You want some raw fish, buddy?
No, more than anything, I just simply want to... Wait. Do you hear that?
I listen closely.
Okay. Make a grit check.
In your ears.
Marcus, you can make a check too if you want.
Got a 5.
Okay.
And I don't even, so that's not
11.
bad.
11.
Okay. Marcus, you hear a sound off in the woods. As you're actually starting to pay attention, you can tell that the woods are starting to quiet themselves, as if the rest of the plant and animal life begins to hush and hide in fear as whatever is currently roaming nearby. And occasionally you hear the soft, gentle brushing of branches and rustling of leaves. And this is not the wind, this is a shape of something moving through, though you cannot see it yet, as if it is either not close enough or it is stealthing quite well from your vision. But you hear a sound, an almost low, guttural sound that sounds like it comes from inside of a very large creature back in the depths of it, and yet you hear this strange clicking sound. Almost, you might even relate it to the sounds of like a rattlesnake rattling its tail, but much slower, much deeper.
Bro, I think we should get out. Like your dragon was.
What do you want?
He's just saying to the rest that we should just go ahead and start moving quicker.
Yeah, I'm inside, so
Yeah, I'll probably come to get you. My cart over to the house. Or the shed thing. However it's best described.
What are you guys doing?
I was looking inside, so did I found anything?
Okay, yeah.
Or you
We
You
can
want to
cut
see
back
what else you
into
wanted?
that. Yeah, you can see, not very well hidden. You can see that there's just sort of like a very worn blanket draped over a very old trapdoor that's got like this big old metal loop on the end of it that clacks. So if you want to carefully and quietly open it up, you may. But I'll need you to make a flight check.
Okay. A 6.
Okay. You go ahead and take an adversity token. Because as you reach for it, as your hand begins to adjust it, it definitely does clack. And you wait a second. And then as you begin to lift it, the door starts to creak. And you pause and try to go slow or try to go fast and adjust it, but it still creaks much the same, groaning in protest as if this thing hasn't been opened for centuries. And immediately you are awash with the scent of death. A very similar smell to the catacombs beneath the old abandoned church. Almost in a wave of nostalgia, you remember this, like being very much the same thing. And you look down and you can see bodies of individuals piled up, adventurers, settlers, travelers, all of their necks twisted. And on top of the pile, a body that does not rot in the same way and does not smell of meat and flesh is the body of Barble, with his head snapped around. His neck leaking this sap-like blood, and his eyes glassy and black.
Shit. I run outside.
Okay. As Tala burst the door, screaming profanities, suddenly on the far side of the clearing, this tree gets toppled over, and you watch as a large scaled creature bursts into view. Elatrain stumbles backwards, attempting to fly up, but the canopy is too widespread here, and he begins trying to climb up the trees in order to get away from this immense creature. If any one of you would like to make a brains check to see if you know what this creature is, you may.
Alright, I feel like this is my specialty with brains.
Anyone can make this check, and I will say that even with Tala's history with nature, you would not have advantage with this, because this is such a rare and unique creature.
I got a 20.
I got a 4 out of 6.
I hit the max on my die.
What was that, Marcus?
I hit the max on my die.
Which is?
A D8.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say that you all know what this creature is then. Which means that I will give you a little bit of extra information, considering that you all succeeded. Moving in to the space, a large, tight, scaled creature. If you think of what a crocodile has, with this almost fleshy but tough skin with barbs poking off of its edges, daring any sort of creature larger than it to treat it as prey. This creature frightens even those of dragons with its terrible abilities. It has a long, open mouth, which inside of it you can see several rows of teeth that actually seem to move back and forth like a chainsaw pattern. Its mouth drips this sort of oozing saliva that actually starts to burn the ground it lands upon, turning the grass brown and drying up in an instant into not just brown but actual black ash. It is what can only be described as, I mean, a large alligator is probably the best way I can describe it, but the size of like 2 black bears. And it has 6 legs instead of 4. But the most notable thing about its appearance are these large eyes on either side of its head. These large, almost unblinking eyes burn and swirl with this unholy energy, like the eyes of Sauron. Just this swirling energy that does not hail from any sort of plane, whether it be hellish or anything else. This is a basilisk. A basilisk with its poison can rend most creatures immobile with just its venom, but it is also very fond for crippling creatures with its powerful builds, rending them and basically like an alligator, grabbing and then flipping and rolling and just bashing them around. This creature hunts for sport more than it does sustenance, and is such feared. But most notably, it has this otherworldly gaze that is able to petrify the skins of creatures, rendering them unable to flee. You all have heard the stories, you have all heard the tales, and there have been no survivors. What would you all like to do? There is no initiative. You tell me what you want to do, and I will react to it.
Everyone, let's get the fuck out of here!
So I rolled on the random encounter table, and I crit. So you got the most dangerous creature of this area.
Okay, so
Don't you all feel lucky?
Can I put like multiple layers of like rock walls?
You want to summon like a large wall from the earth?
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple.
You can attempt to do one large one. Doing multiple doesn't make sense.
Shit.
In this moment, you can attempt to do one thing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
What's your spell casting? Is it probably brains?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll brains then.
$19.
Okay. Yeah, you conjure up the image of what you want the earth to make, and the world in response bends to your will, and suddenly rushing up from the ground, a large compacted earth wall splits the campsite in half. And the most terrifying thing is that you hear no sounds. No attempts to break through the wall, no screams in protest or sounds of other activities. You are just now on the other side of this wall from that thing. Now what do you all do?
Guys, we gotta get
To my
out of here
horse.
quickly.
And they.
All right,
Like,
make a flight check, Tala. I'll say if that's the plan, everyone can do so.
Oh god.
oh, I hit my max again. On the D6.
You got a what out of 6?
I rolled my max on the D6.
Okay, yeah. Marcus hops on his cart and just rides off into the night.
Alright, I also got my max out of the D4.
Okay, yeah. Elatrain was just managing to start to climb his way out of the canopy, and you quickly climb up his tail and onto the harness that you have, and you take off into the skies. What did Tala get?
A 2.
Okay. Tala, you go to put your hand on your horse, and what are the traits of your horse?
Let's see. Level-headed and sneaky. So it doesn't
what-
get lost, and
What is level-headed?
he basically doesn't get lost.
Doesn't get what?
Lost.
Lost.
So-
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm on a known region, I can get lost. If I have been there before, I can
Okay.
get lost.
Take an adversity token, because as you go to reach for your horse starts to lose its composure and whirls around and almost kicks you in the face before running off without you. And then you hear that sound again.
Well, I guess I'll be the horse now.
Okay. You want to turn into a horse and just run away?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, make a flight check again, I guess.
$19.
Okay. You turn into a horse and instantaneously you are suddenly face to face, or rather frozen in like a deer in the headlights of this massive pulsing yellow swirling energy that is surrounded by darkness, and you just full force leap over it and just start running, but even in your absolute terror and sense of wild energy, you can feel yourself start to slow down. I need you to make a grit check.
Great. I'm going to spend an adversity token. I got an 8 out of 12. I'm using the adversity token. Just to be sure.
So you got an 8 out of 12 plus adversity token is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like you're using a token to get like half. And I mean, I know some people have that ability. Okay.
Yeah.
As you start to run away, you can feel the hair on your body start to crisp up and feel dead and get heavy, and you start slowing down, and you can feel your muscles start to atrophy a bit, and your back legs start to stiffen. But you just keep running and keep running and keep running. I need everyone to make another flight check, Tala, with disadvantage.
That is 6 again.
You know what? I'm burning like 3 advanced tokens because I got a 4.
I got a. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got a D4 out of 4.
Okay.
My height.
Freddy, you are up in the air, so you feel yourself relatively safe at this point. But as you look down, you can see that Tala is starting to lose their color. Their beautiful, I don't know what color your horse is, I assume like brown or something, starts to turn gray. And they actually start to stumble and fall and just slide until they're stopped by a tree as their body begins to harden. What'd you get, Marcus?
I got a 6 again.
Okay. What were you saying, Tala? You wanted to do something with your adversity tokens?
Yeah, I can use adversity tokens to increase the success, right?
Yes.
I got like a 4, so I'm spending like 3 of them.
You can only spend 1 per roll. So you definitely have control of your body, but you are unable to run anymore. You fall to the ground, and you can still move your legs, only just barely. It feels like your body's in just frozen solid, and you're starting to feel numb. And you look around nervously, and you just can't run anymore.
Okay, I'm going to try something I've never tried.
Okay.
I want to try my elements. If I can turn into something that thing can't bite, I'll be happy.
What do you want to turn into?
Either
Do you want to leave it up to the dice?
yeah.
Okay. You can make either a brains or grit check with advantage.
I'm going for grit.
Okay.
Oh my god, why did I spend all my good rolls on stealth? I got another 4. I'm spending another adversity token. I don't care.
Okay. You. So you're trying to turn your, rather than turning into a creature, you're trying to turn into an element?
Yeah.
Okay. So you revert back to your base form, which I assume is your humanoid form, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you actually decide to do the clever strategy of turning your body into stone. Which actually seems to work. You can feel the numbness stop. You can still relatively have faculties of your mind and body and be aware of your surroundings, but you're afraid that if you turn back, the rest of your non-stone body will begin to petrify more.
Okay.
So you turn yourself into a statue.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll to see if it can find you. Okay. Freddy, from your position up above, you can see that the basilisk is slowly stalking through the trees down below. Its rough hide blending in with the foliage, and its natural wavy movement seems to match the wind blowing the trees. You can see it, and it is steadily making its way closer and closer to Tala, and will be upon her in just a few moments. Marcus, you are completely unaware of this, but if you would like to do something as well, you may.
I'm going at full speed, but like I'm going to try and see if I can figure out where everybody is. It's
Okay.
dark, and I don't think I would have a light attached to my heart, so I don't know.
I mean, you just got a lantern.
Well, Tala did. What you do?
I thought Tala gave it to you, because Freddy bought it, but Tala said you should have it.
I don't really. can already tell.
I offered him, but he said, "Oh no, I already can see spirit, so I got the."
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. As I'm bolting up, I guess I want to see if I can figure out where everybody else is.
Okay. You look around, and I'll say that you can get a general idea of where everyone else is, except for Tala. Like, the rest of the party is, like, you and Freddy are out of harm's danger at this point. It's just Tala that's been left behind.
All right, so after thinking for a little while, I would like to stop mid-air and
All right, you begin to
command-
fall.
No. I'm gonna command Elatrain to shoot a fireball at the forest to set the forest on fire.
Ah, brilliant. Make a fight check.
D10 then +1. Okay, that's 9.
Out of 10. Okay, yeah. He releases a blast of fire, and instantly the forest begins to catch alight. This tree just explodes into fire, and quickly these branches and leaves begin to drift off and alight the rest of the forest. The basilisk, its natural camouflage, is now useless with this bright light. Its thick hide is resistant to this for the moment, but is pondering whether or not it should stay around. Okay. You can see that it has paused in its hunting approach and is just sort of glancing around. You don't know what its next move is, but, and I'll say, Marcus, there is now a very specific place where you can see the forest is on fire.
That is one of my fears.
All right, I'm gonna risk it.
Oh, is that one of your fears, Marcus?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess Marcus just keeps running then.
All right, so I'm gonna.
Well, I mean,
try-
I don't want to say that. I was just pointing it out. Marcus, you can play your character however you want.
He's gonna try to, because he can't see Tala anywhere. He's gonna try to like skirt around. Like he's not gonna get close to the fire at all, but he's gonna like try to keep scanning his eyes to look for wherever she might be. Because I don't think he'd think of any clever ideas on how to find her.
Okay.
All right, so. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say you don't see Tala. You're too far away, unfortunately. What were you gonna say, Freddy?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna try to command Ilatrain to fly down a little lower in order for me to spot Tala.
What are the tags of your mount, Freddy? Of Elytran?
I'm sorry?
What are the tags for Elytran? You dragon mount.
Let's see. Light party. Light and hardy.
Should have another one.
No, because he flies. Wasn't something like that. If it was something that didn't fly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
You
I get to. Yeah. All right. You're right. Okay. Sure. Make a charisma check because this is a difficult situation for Elytran. Like he like understands, but you need to soothe him a bit. So rather than just like making him do this, I need you to make a roll.
What was it again?
Charisma.
Charisma.
The charm. Sorry.
D12 bang plus 1. Okay, that's a 10.
Okay. Yeah, he instantly begins a dive, swooping down very low. The Basilisk, unfortunately, is aware of this large, flapping creature, and looks up, and you can almost see a devilish grin across its face.
Alright, buddy, let's try to find Tala and let's get the hell out of here.
All right, make a flight check with disadvantage.
Right. Okay, so my lowest would be 3.
Okay. As you begin to swoop down, suddenly the basilisk leaps up into the air and catches Elytran in a large toothy maw and slams back down to the ground. Go ahead and take 2 adversity tokens, Freddy. As Elytran just collapses to the ground, not dead, but immediately unconscious. And instantly you can see this flaming blood starting to spurt out of its body as the saw teeth of the basilisk starts to tear into its form. Clearly enjoying this.
Damn. The stupidity of having a D4 as my flight.
On a
We all
flying
have
creature.
Yeah, we almost have a D4 somewhere.
Yep. That's the
I think upon
unfortunate
seeing
thing.
that, or I think upon seeing that happen, Marcus is gonna try to get close. I don't know what
Okay.
kind of magic he can use on this thing.
If you want to like leave your cart behind and run back or something, you can, or whatever you want to do. You tell me what you want to do, man.
He's gonna try to get the donkey to take the cart over in that direction.
Okay. Hope
I
that
can
purse
see
is
this-
big enough for a
this happening.
dragon. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, what were you saying that was actually something?
I can see this happening.
Yeah, you can see all this happening.
Okay. Since this basilisk seems to be really enjoying this, I can still move, right? It will be rather difficult, but I can move, right?
If you exit out of your stone form, you can move.
Hmm.
But since the creature is no longer looking at you, you do know that the petrification gaze of it will not continue the effects. Your body is partially petrified, but not entirely.
Yeah, I thought I could try to move like a big, low elemental, but yeah, I would have to transform back. Mm.
I will allow you to turn your form into different elements, but your body will act as those elements do. I think it would be far too overpowered to let you be an elemental and be able to do
Yeah.
all that sort of nonsense. Perhaps later, when you unlock that ability or something. But
That thing is into fire. You know what? I wanna try to turn into lightning this time, and just walk right into that thing.
it's not immune to fire, but it does have it
Resistance.
the forest isn't ablaze instantly. These trees are starting to catch fire, so it's not immediately concerned, but all of you are aware that if you were to stay around here for too long, you would all be cut up in the inferno that a flaming forest can become.
Yeah, I wanna try to turn into lightning and keep like running to him. Maybe I can annoy him enough so he release the dragons.
Go ahead and make a grit check and a flight check.
Okay. Grit, so it's a +1 plus magic. 13, yes, maxed it.
Nice. Okay.
And the flight.
Yes.
The flight is. It's considered magic or not?
I mean, you just add all your bonuses to your
Oh,
to your
right.
rolls. Yeah.
19.
Out of what?
20?
Oh wow. Okay. So these were your top
Yeah,
two. Okay, cool. Yeah, you instantly break out of your stone form and begin moving. It's hard to move at first. Your body is still like half petrified. But you begin to move and start to build up speed and launch yourself forward, changing your body composition into this pure energy, or at least mostly. It's a very strange, difficult, and half transformation. But what are you trying to do exactly? Just get back to everyone, or is this an attack? Are you trying to get somewhere?
It's kind of an attack because I want to. Since I will behave like my element, right? I want to try to run through him to electrocute him.
Make a fight check then. I'm gonna say disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. No, 9 out of 10 because I have a +1. So.
I'm gonna say that your physicality of your form doesn't turn to pure energy the way lightning does, but you are able to engulf your body in this powerful static energy that you just sideline him, just slam into him. Let's see. I'll roll one of these. So what happens is you release this sudden burst of electrical energy that discharges into its body, and it convulses, throwing Elytrain off into the distance, spinning, just pinwheeling, flinging burning blood more. And the basilisk sort of stumbles backwards, sizzling, and I think it like bumps into a fire tree. And I think with that, it realizes that this is no longer fun anymore, and turns and makes a speedy exit. The forest is, however, still starting to burn more and more. Your compatriots are scattered, some of you are injured, and whatever sort of information that you might learn about these neck twisters is slowly starting to go up in smoke. What would you all like to do?
Dash towards
The basilisk has fled.
Elytrain. Dragon's name on that. Gonna go towards.
Make a brains or grit check with advantage.
I'm just like moving quickly side to side looking for Freddy because I have this thought in my mind that if I stop, I'll die because it stopped being lightning.
Both of them
Oh,
in
but-
wing 9.
I think with that attack that you did, Tala, you sort of collapsed to the ground, back to your humanoid form, half petrified.
Okay.
And that's just sort of your stable form at the moment.
Got a total of 10 out of a d20.
10 for what?
I got a 10 for grit.
Okay. You can tell that Elytrain has suffered a terrible wound, but could definitely be healed. They're not going to die anytime soon. Luckily, their bone structure wasn't severely damaged. For a dragon, this is sort of a flesh wound. Not that this would be. This is a particularly tanky dragon, but possibly limping for a while, depending upon how well you could heal it. But you can tell that Elytrain is far from death at this point in time.
That was Freddy, because he was riding the dragon.
Freddy, make a flight check.
He was riding a dragon that got flung.
Let's see how your water wing or air wings are. We're literally throwing you in the deep end, and by that I mean straight up in the air. Take an adversity token, Freddy.
Oh, okay. That takes me to 8 adversity tokens then.
You should start using some of them. You get launched along with your dragon, and you are up in the air for quite a bit before you come crashing down, just through multiple tree limbs, just and then you slam into a tree eventually. you instantly just sort of crumple to the ground and start to get up, and you honestly feel fine until you look down and realize that your vision's a little blurry and you can see where you were crawling just moments before. There is a lot of blood. How about you make a grit check for me, my dude? Let's see how many bones are breaking.
6.
Okay. It is very difficult to breathe right now. You can feel your heart pumping in your chest. You're not sure how you're alive, or how long, but you currently are. You don't feel pain at this current moment in time, which is concerning.
Yeah, I think we better try to heal Freddy.
But you do not immediately fall unconscious.
Yeah, Fred is like in that situation where he's like in a motorbike accident. He stands up, go ask for help, and then realize he broke both of his legs.
The plot armor is strong.
I'm gonna try to get him and do some sort of healing magic.
I think Freddy can like start limping back to where he sees the fire, because that's really all he can think about right now. But nobody sees Freddy at the moment. Marcus, you can see Tala and Elytraean if you want to assist either of them.
Well, I'm not good at finding people, so I'm just gonna work on healing the dragon, because he might be able to find Freddy better than I would.
Okay. Roll your D20 one, whichever your spellcasting one is.
Got a 17 on the die.
Okay. Yeah, you in a weird way, you've seen enough bodies that you kind of know a little bit about physiology of creatures, and dragon's large enough creature that even if you
Just
don't
a big
get it,
lizard.
well, because it's so large, you don't have to get the perfect, down to the tiniest details of perfection in this. You just sort of close the wound and stop the bleeding, and in fact you hear some snaps as bones fit back into place, and Elytraean collapses down to the ground and turns and looks at you, and without saying anything just gives you a nod.
Alright, I assume you have a way to find Freddy. I don't know.
Unfortunately, he chose not to give me that tag. And he gets up, limping a little bit, and sort of like lifts Tala up, I think, just sort of like laying her on his back.
Come on, just look for the weird CGI on this photorealistic forest.
All right, smart guy. Make a brains check, Tala.
Six. Max.
Okay. Yeah, you squint your eyes and then just like blink and then blink and just keep refreshing, and as the world loads in front of you, as you keep refreshing your view, you can see that Freddy's textures load a little bit differently. You can spot him off in the distance.
I don't know what kind of wizard is this, but I'm loving it. So I can see he's alive. I look at Marcus, and for a creature that leaves no survivors, I think we went pretty well.
And I will say, with that, you are able to gather yourselves up and hobble away to safety. And I think that's where we should end this session, unless there's any final things you guys want to do.
Yeah,
I mean, I
wanna.
could leave him injured, but I think I will try to heal him.
Well, I was gonna say, if you guys just want to go take a rest somewhere, you can heal up.
Yeah,
But
Like,
nobody goes
why
and
would-
like investigates Bolog's shack, right?
yeah. Right now, like be like engulfed by flames. I don't think anyone wanna be there.
Okay. Do you
I just
tell
wanna use
anyone
my-
what you saw?
Yeah, I will tell everyone, and I use my familiar to find my horse and scold him after he left me for leaving me. Oh, I can understand him.
Oh,
Remember?
right.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I just had to run. I was scared.
Okay, I just wanted to vent a little bit.
I'm not your therapist.
Thanks. Marcus.
What's your horse's name?
Agro.
Edward?
Agro from you
Oh,
ever played Shadow of the
Agro.
Colossus?
Okay. I want to do a different voice for him than that.
I turn to Freddy and ask, does she do that?
He says, "I'm sorry for leaving you behind. I was terribly frightened." Anyway.
Okay, I also Marcus, the neck twisters attacked again. There was a bunch of bodies in Roger's basement. He was also there with his neck twisted. I don't know how that happened. Like, we were there all the time. Do you think he did that to himself?
Yeah, a lantern.
I mean, I went there when we learned that something was coming. I wouldn't be, spending like, I don't know, 10 minutes having a shit chat while that thing was coming after us.
While I would like to investigate, I don't think we can put out that fire at this point. Let it
I
go
mean-
too far.
I guess Marcus could go investigate after the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus ain't getting near the fire if nobody in his posse.
Yeah, you know what?
Danger.
We can do that. Tala tells everyone the situation, and then in the morning when the fire has died off, you guys can go back and investigate the remains if you want.
After resting, I'm still partially petrified, or you start to like recede.
You're still
That-
partially petrified. It's just everyone's physical wounds have started to heal up.
Okay. So this doesn't go away naturally.
Yeah, you're gonna need some special kind of magic, and I think that would be above what you all could do with your natural healing magic. So
Okay.
unfortunately, Tala, you are partly petrified, which means that you will have disadvantage on your physical abilities.
Which is almost all of them.
Yep.
Well, at least I think I found a new way to sneak into places. I pretend to be a statue and you guys sell me. I can get into museums like that.
Do you guys want to go back and investigate the Ashen Ruins?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think that all the bodies in the basement will become just like one big blob of bones.
Yeah, sort of. You investigate and you can find the ashen pile of what used to be this house. You can see that all of the wood carvings and the chunks and bits of like things of future projects and that wood that you chopped down is all burned now. After a bit of digging, you can find your way into what would be the basement underneath the layer of soil, and dug into the earth. There is a relatively section. It's not too big. It would have been like a small cellar, but there was many bodies piled up inside. Whether or not Bolo, what is his name? I keep saying like Bolog. Bolo? Is that what I said?
Was it Bulba?
Bulbo. That doesn't sound right. I don't remember. And I didn't write it down.
I mean, he's dead.
He's dead, so it doesn't matter. Whether or not he seemed like he knew of the situation, you do not know. I mean, Tala, while you were in the building, there was no smell. Also, after a bit of digging, you do find the charred statue, or what you presume to be a petrified individual of the lady that was looking scared, but was tucked into bed. She looks like she was instantly petrified.
Since we're going to look out for me, do you guys want to carry this? Or just mark as agreed for power?
I guess we can bring the statue. This is interesting territory. If there's a chance to save the person, I guess we might as well.
Hey, Freddy.
What's up?
You mind your dragon carrying that? Because I think it's the only thing that I can carry.
We can put her into the hearse.
No.
Sure.
Yeah, probably would fit into your wagon or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the tree-like body of the Eladrin that you met, Bolo or whatever his name was, is completely gone. Nothing is left behind. He was completely burned up, being wood-like in nature.
Wood-like on top of the pile. Yeah, what the first one to burn.
Yeah. But after a bit of investigation, and even if you want to do any digging, and you do have the hallway, and there does not seem to be any physical connection. Whoever came and desecrated these bodies and dumped them here, there does not seem to be any sort of physical way that they would have been delivered. At least using the train cart system. I'll give you that for free.
Don't know what to do with that information, unfortunately.
Yeah, we just know that they were not using the tunnel to drop bodies here. And since the last one, the tunnel was like covered with dirt. On the inside the room, outside of the tunnel, I don't think they knew about the tunnel as well.
Yeah, this dumping spot also looks ancient and aged. Like this is an old remnant of a spot where people would dump desecrated bodies. But the fact that Bolo had his neck twisted and thrown into this recently is concerning.
Randy, you're the smart one. What do you think?
Is he? No
I mean,
offense.
yeah. I would say that he's smart, but he lacks common sense.
Wait,
Fair
what?
enough.
Sorry, I didn't quite get that.
You're the smart one. What do you think happened here, Freddy?
Oh, I'm the.
Yeah, what do you think
So,
did happen
Freddy, what do you
besides the
think
wildfire?
happened here at the murder site? Ha 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 ha! Just starts laughing maniacally.
For this, because I can't think of anything on the spot.
Do you want to maybe roll some dice?
Yeah, I'll roll some dice.
Okay.
Let me get my brains dice out.
Okay.
17, 18, 19. Okay, that's 19. Uh, nineteen. Nice. Okay.
19 total?
Yes.
Okay. Um, from the way that Tala described these ruins, and the way that the house was laid out, it seems like this house was very lived in, but perhaps not by Bolo. Perhaps Bolo came across this house, and perhaps with a little bit of sleuthing and deducing, you come to you have an idea that perhaps this house belonged to the woman, and they met once upon a time, perhaps even fell in love and grew old together, but when she was petrified, he became an old hermit and just slowly wilted away. As Eladrins are creatures of nature and the elements, and are relatively timeless, but to see one looking this old and withered is very strange indeed. So you believe that his heart was broken, perhaps he even wished to die, so that he could move on with his beloved, perhaps. That's only a guess. Whoever used this structure before and determined its usage, you don't know. But it is quite strange indeed. Especially who came in and murdered Bolo before the basilisk came upon all of you.
Hmm.
We didn't saw no one getting there, not leave, right?
Say that again?
We didn't saw anyone getting to the shack or leave while we were there, right?
Nope.
So I was thinking, maybe, what if there was someone there? Like, when we got here, he was already there? And now that I think about it, it's kind of ironic. Because if he didn't leave, he probably got consumed by the fire.
Or perhaps escaped in the confusion.
Yeah. But would the basilisk just let him go? I mean, he didn't let me go that easily. No, wait, yeah, the fire came after, right? Him.
I don't see why someone would have come here to kill him. It seemed to have much importance. Unless it has something to do with the lantern that he makes.
Now that I'm thinking about it, should we try to, I don't know, revert this statue? That, okay, even if you manage to bring her back and save her life, she would have nothing. You know, everything that she had got turned to ash.
She would have her life.
Yeah, okay, that's a way of seeing it.
I'm trying to find some pictures of a basilisk that I agree with. I mean, here's a good size comparison one. Well, that didn't work. Oh, it did work. Okay. Anywho, what are y'all doing?
I think I'm gonna rest.
We just rest. We
Okay.
rested and then we came back, right?
Yeah. But you can rest more if you want to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You still very much feel the effects of what happened last night. You hurt all over.
There is one more thing I want to try. I want to try to use the ghost lantern. Maybe their spirits is still roaming around since the whole neck twisting doesn't last the spirit's rest or something, right?
Mm-hmm. You hold up the lantern. Excuse me. And Marcus, you would know that the desecration, that twisting, the necks, that what it does is it traps the soul in the body and forces it to stay there as a source of power, so that people wishing to reanimate it can do so quite easily. But now that these bodies are completely destroyed, the spirits are allowed to escape freely. Currently, you can see that there are some very vague shapes still sort of floating around. They've lost most of their detail and are just almost these empty husks. They have been trapped for so long and honestly probably used so much that there's hardly anything left of who they used to be and are just empty souls. They may not remember anything of their life, but you may choose to interact with them. You do not see a soul for the lady. You assume that her soul is still trapped inside. She's not technically dead. But if you want to help these souls pass on or try to commune with them, Marcus, you may do so.
Any sound of Bob, the legend?
Bulbo?
Bulbo back. Yeah. Well, where is there any sound of Bulbo?
No, unfortunately. Being a creature of the Fae, he probably would have gone back to his realm of existence and been like reabsorbed into the natural essence of the wood. That's in the forest.
So start trying to see if you can help any of them.
Yeah, if you just want to ask around, trying to get any sort of information, you can just ask me and then make a charisma check with advantage.
I guess I'll look to see if there's one that has like more. Seems like it has more presence than any of the others, and then if there is, then he'll go to it. If not, he'll just pick a random one.
Yeah.
And he'll like just address them, asking.
You can just kind of speak out into the crowd if you want as well.
Anyone in there, stranger?
Okay, make a charisma check.
4 on my D4.
Let's see. You got a 4 out of your D4?
Yeah.
I think for the most part, these souls don't really respond to you speaking to them. But they also aren't like ignoring you. You try to commune with them with like referring to their sense of self, that sort of like consciousness that they had while they're alive is gone at this point. You are free to talk to them, but when you say hello, is there anyone there, like it when you try to refer to them as living beings, like ask for their name or like speak to you and like offer a greeting, they don't really respond to any of that. I feel like that was kind of a failure still, so I'm gonna give you adversity token for that one. Like I won't punish you for that one, so you can ask a question and roll another check. But yeah, they don't really seem to respond, which is kind of unfortunate because you rolled your max number, which is why I'm giving you an adversity token, but not making you fail. So there are forms here that you can try to speak to, but their consciousness is a bit lacking. Trying to communicate with them as a group, however, might yield you the results rather than trying to speak to an individual. That's what I'll give you with that information. I'm not saying that their souls got like fused together in the fire or anything weird, just it might be better to ask like general questions like how did you all die or something.
How long have you all been here?
The general consensus is hundreds of years, which seems to relate to the original stories of the Neck Twisters. It was this cult that was almost like a dark sort of like it was just like a conspiracy theory that they were cultists running things, going rampant through the streets, and it's like if the Ku Klux Klan was like a thing in this fantasy world, it was like no one actually really does that. Oh my goodness, people actually really do that. Just like the idea of desecrating bodies for the purpose of easily being able to reanimate them. And that's sort of what made it so popular, is that it was very easy for like anyone can reanimate a corpse. All you have to do is do this very simple thing. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. They give the general take that this is what seems to be around the time when the original cult was active, and you would all believe that the cult has gone extinct, but appears to be now resurfacing.
I think after that, foremost on his mind would be they've been here so long, and they were stuck like that for so long, that he's just gonna try and see if he can figure out if there's even a way to help them pass on.
Yeah, you can do some you can make a nice grave for them, and you don't necessarily have to pull out and sort their bodies, but like maybe just like burying them back up now that they're free, they can rest at peace now.
I guess we'll be at work with that while Freddy rests up more.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that you guys can do that for a good half of the day. And just cover those bodies back up and whatnot. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
I'm just thinking to myself that Bird was being a Fae. When he died, he got like absorbed by the woods, and we destroyed the woods.
You destroyed most of the woods. The forest still managed to survive, but yeah. Hey, Freddy. Freddy?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Make me a brawn check.
Okay.
Wait. Is that what I think it is? Because I was thinking about something right now.
What were you thinking about?
Ray wasn't alone in the dragon when he got knocked to the ground, right?
Right. D6 and +1.
I mean, I'm pretty sure his wife was in the dragon too. His woman.
No, okay.
Oh,
no,
she's fine. You've all gathered up. She's inventory as long as I'm concerned. She's equipment. She does not have enough faculties to be considered a sidekick, and so will not participate in activities unless it is simply roleplay.
Yeah, because I listened to like last session, and how she got like yanked by the Dust Devil, and I just think that Freddy got launched from his dragon, and she probably would be in his dragon too.
All right, I crit. I got a 7.
You crit?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said you quit. I was like, oh,
No.
Yeah. Partly because I forgot, so I don't want to count it. But yeah, Freddy, maybe the next time you go diving headfirst into danger, remember that you've got a beautiful woman with you.
Oh, wait, I thought she was in Emery's
Oh, that's right. I think I did say that at the beginning of the session, that Emery was making food with the girls or whatever. So I'll say that they're together. Anywho, Freddy, as you are standing in the middle of this smoking forest, you feel something inside of you shift a little bit. Looking at the remnants of this fire, the dark part of yourself starts to move a little bit. You don't understand it fully. You feel like you could reach out and do something, but you're not sure exactly what that is. There's something wrestling inside of you. But you have touched a shadow demon before, and now that you, or not a shadow demon, a smoke demon. So now that you are surrounded by the smoking forest, you have a weird, almost communion with this area. As if you perhaps could fight better here, or do some stuff.
I see.
You could fight better. Now Brad's going to set ablaze every place he goes.
Now that, rather than setting fires, I think I have a different idea. But that's for the future.
Do you want to try and commune with this smoke?
Yes.
Roll me a d6.
It's alright. And I got a 6.
Okay. You reach out, and without physically touching it, you grab hold of a nearby plume of smoke. And I think people nearby also watch as suddenly Freddy pulls a form that was incorporeal before and is still mostly unable to interact with the real world, but a smoke imp begins to manifest and form at your feet.
Ah, yes, master. How may I serve you? You have brought me life from the destruction of this place. What is your bidding? Your beautiful desire for wanton destruction is admirable. Shall we raise the rest of this ashen forest?
No. I don't know why, but I just imagine like Freddy pulls a smoke demon and like the rest of the party turns and looks at him and like gives him the look, and Freddy just like gives the imp a little kick and poof. What's that?
All right, so I have a new companion buddy.
Yeah, you can summon spirits from the element.
I'm gonna name him Bobby. I'm naming the gremlin Bobby.
Okay.
I put that in the wrong place, sorry.
You Marcus for the name.
Put it in the wrong place. Apologies.
Alright. right. So now on, your name will be John. As I speak to the shadow.
There, I
Okay, so
adjusted
is
the
it-
permissions. You all can still see the game stuff channel, right?
Yep.
Alright, I just made it so people can't post in it.
No.
All right, so I wanted to ask Bobby what his abilities are.
I am only a small imp, my liege. I can only perform the most minor of tasks.
And for the sake of brevity, imps are on the same par as familiars. You can make them go places, they follow commands, they do stuff. Unlike your familiars can grow with you and gain tasks and whatnot with your experience and how you develop your character. Imps and other summoned beings are dependent upon your abilities to create them.
I see.
So if you want to summon stronger smoke beings than imps, then you will have to invest in that power.
Got it.
But because you have the smoke touched ability, you can manifest and conjure. You can control smoke basically, which also gives you the base level of summoning, which is smoke imps.
Okay.
Makes you want to go back and dig up that person, doesn't it? If you could get the powers of a wind demon. Or sorry, it was a dust demon. That's right.
But no. Wait. No. I can only touch smoke, so that's a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Freddy's just thinking to himself, oh no, now what do I do?
Exactly.
Do we want to end the session here? I think this is a pretty fun spot to leave off on. Freddy summons a demon again. Again!
We got to the demon part of the episode. We have to make sure one should be people done.
It's our new quota, apparently.
A demon a day.
What? A demon a day? Keep the doctor away?
Freddy
It doesn't
needs
seem
to
to be working for
destroy some building and summon a demon every session.
Every session or like every day of adventure, right?
I don't know, man. It all blends together. This has just been one long day since I've met you, Freddy. Alright, I'm gonna call it here.